So let's go to the next slide. And then thank you to the sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't be here. It's McKinsey Company, Python Software Foundation, and Home Depot. Make sure if you are not a member to go to our site today and be a member. So if you go to womenwhocode.com/Python, you can be able to join us and you will get those newsletters. Those newsletters will give you the information from any free tickets, any conference, a list of new jobs, any other information that it will be really helpful for you. I think someone is not muted and I'm hearing a little bit. If you guys could mute yourself just in case, and whenever you want to talk, you can unmute yourself, please. I will appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so let's start for what we came here. So we're gonna talk about data manipulation with pandas. My name is Liliana Torres. I am a lead in the Women Who Code Python track. And I wanted to do a little bit of pandas because I think it's very important for data analysis. It's a really, really good tool, and it's impressive all that you can do. So I'm from Venezuela. I am a data analyst by heart. I enjoy it really much. I really, 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 really enjoy data. I think data is like life. And I believe that companies can obtain better answers and they can have a lot of growth and performance by just looking at the data. I love Python. I really enjoy it. I think it's really, really good language. And I'm here to improve my skills, as well as I would like you to learn from me something. And it's a day-to-day learning process. I don't know everything. I don't have all the answers, but I keep improving myself every day. And every time I do this, I learn it from myself, and I like to share it to the community. I like that idea too. So I really, really enjoy giving back to the community. My biggest goal in life is to help others, to inspire others to succeed. I think that's really, really nice, because whenever you inspire someone and you help someone and you hear, hey, I did this, I helped with that, and it's just amazing, that it's just rewarding that way. I really, in my free time, I study a lot lately. I love to be active. I run a little bit, and I like to do crazy obstacle races. That's my little life. Okay, so let's get started with the presentation that we were gonna do. So I'm gonna put here my notebook. Can everyone see it? Perfect. Okay, I really love this image because this is the basic theme for pandas. Does anyone knows a little bit about pandas, or are you all beginners? Or are you learning, you started to learn? Share with me. I want you to share it as long as you can. Okay, good. And if you want to say something, just jump in and you can share. If there is something that I don't know, maybe you want to share and say it, please feel free. I want you to be collaborative and help each other. Maybe I missed something, maybe I didn't add something. So this pandas is huge. It's super, super big. So we have so many things we could do in there. I really, really enjoy learning it, and there is a lot more that I would like to learn. But I think it's really enjoyable. So what is pandas? So whenever I started reading a book and I was learning about NumPy, and I don't know if anyone is familiar with NumPy, but pandas exist because NumPy. So we have the core Python, right? We have the core Python, well, what is being used a lot, but we have NumPy, and then NumPy is an improvement from Python, and then we have pandas, which is built on NumPy, and NumPy it has arrays and matrices, which it helps you to do the data manipulation in an easier way than Access. So Pandas is one of the packages that makes importing and analyzing data a lot easier. Pandas is built on NumPy, and actually we have another library called Matplotlib, which is built on too, and give you a single and convenient place to do most of your data analysis. Pandas has data structures and data manipulations tools, which are designed to make data cleaning and analysis fast and easy in Python. Pandas adopt many coding items of NumPy. So it's, like I said, it's totally built on NumPy. So it can represent data in a suitable way. So we have the Pandas data structure, which is, this is the main thing to understand and know how to use it before you start manipulating data. So we have series and we have data frames. And this package has multiple methods, convenience for data filtering. There are so many. There are a bunch of them. I couldn't cover them, all of them today, but I picked the most important ones that you could use and you could start playing with. So we have the series and the data frame. The series is a one-dimensional array and contain a sequence of values associated to the array data labels. So if you look at here, let's start running this. First thing that you have to do, import the library. So since we have NumPy here, because it's built on in Pandas, we're always gonna need NumPy. And this is the acronym that we are gonna use. So import Pandas as PD. This is like my alias. And for NumPy, NP. So that's the first thing I always do. And then we are gonna create a series. We have this series, which I call series 1, and I say PD, which is my alias from here, dot series, and then I put it between parentheses, and I put 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be my series. So I run this code, and then I get number 3. Why? I'm gonna retrieve access. Oh, I'm sorry, I think I forgot here too. I want to use to print it. Come on. No, it doesn't want to print for me. That's okay. Well, I don't know why it doesn't want to work for me, but. Okay, so besides that, I created here my series. This is my series. And then I'm gonna retrieve elements. That's main key, retrieve elements. So whenever you want to retrieve elements, you can access by their index. So hello? There is someone there that needs to put the mute, please. Thank you. So we have the series here. Well, I printed it here below, I didn't see. So whenever I print the series, it gets me, it has an index. This is the index, and it starts in 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. And then this is the numbers that I added to the series, okay? So to access to this, it tells me the data type, which is int64. And if I want to access to number 3, I'm gonna say series 1, which is the name, and then I put it in brackets is number 2, so which be 0, 1, and 2. And then whenever I run it, I get number 3. So this is very important and basic to know, really, really basic, because with this, we're gonna put in top of it whenever we go to that multi-dimensional array, so it's really, really important. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the chat, or you can speak if you want to. You can stop me anytime if there is a question. Now we are going to create, you can create the series from different places, right? You have the index, which I say before. And also, you can create a series from different places. So creating the series with an index. So I'm specifying the index here. I'm creating my series. I'm saying pd.series. And I have here the numbers I'm using, 475 and -5 and 3. And I'm saying that these are my indexes. These are the indexes I'm using. And I'm saying it could be numbers or it could be letters. But in this case, I'm just specifying them. I wanted to specify them. Because later you could do that whenever you pull data with Excel, which I would show you. So I'm printing this series, right? And it is giving me my index, DBAC, and the numbers I assign it to, and the type of series. So now I want to know about the index information. I want to know what is the index. If you have a really large data set and you just want to know about the index, you always want to explore the data first. Like, look, what are the properties, what are the columns, and all those kind of things. So if you run, what is going on? Oh, I need to run this. I missed it. I missed the whole thing. Running it again. That's the important thing from Jupyter Notebooks. You have to be running one by one. So I'm going to run it. And then it will tell me the index. These are the index, and this is the type, which is an object. Now, we can create a series from a dictionary too, as I'm doing here. And a dictionary has a key, which is, this is my key, and this is the value for this dictionary. So in this dictionary, I'm going to create a series. So I'm going to do, I just call it object, right? This is my dictionary, and I'm saying pd.series, and I'm assigning that there. Easy, no complicated at all. I print it. So I have, in this case, this is my key. So my key is right here. Ohio, 3,500, Texas, 71,000, Oregon, 1,600, and then Utah, 5,000. So this is the way you create this series. You're going to use this series some other time there, but this is the basics of the series. They use series a lot with time, for analysis of time. And whenever they use this series, they put the index of the days, like today, tomorrow, the next day, whenever you're evaluating data. Okay, so now let's move up to data frames. Data frames are awesome, the best. A data frame is a way to represent and work with tabular data. Imagine an Excel sheet. Data frames equal Excel sheet. That's the idea to see it. It has columns and rows, same thing we have in Excel. So a data frame can have a Pandas data frame. It can have a series, which is the one-dimensional array I just mentioned before. And it can have a NumPy array too, which it could be a two-dimensional in the array. It could have dictionaries of one-dimensional array, lists, dictionaries, or series. So now let's look at this. Create a data frame from a dictionary. So we have the dictionary here. We have country, and then for country, I'm saying that I have Russia, Colombia, Chile, Ecuador, and Nigeria. And then I have a rank per each, which are these values below. So I do pd.dataframe. Same thing as series, the only difference is the word here. And then I'm gonna print that. So I'm printing this, and it's giving me the country and the rank. And then here is my index. This is the index I have. This is an example from a dictionary. Now, if I have a NumPy array, so in this case, this is my NumPy array, right? And we have column 1, column 2, row 1, 1, 2, row 2, 3, and 4. So this is very interesting one, I think. So I'm going to do pd.data frame, right? And I'm going to say what would be my data, what would be my index, and what would be my columns. And this is when I go here with the slicing. So I'm saying data. If someone is familiar a little bit with Python, you'll know what slicing means. And I'm saying, right, I want my data, I want to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm saying go to from 1 to the end. 0, 1, from 1 to the end. And then from 1 to the end too. In the rows and in the columns. And this is what I'm showing here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm saying for the index, I want to do this too, right? I want rows, and I want row 1 and row 2. I wonder if I have a pointer here. Probably not. Okay, so, and then whenever I want that, I'm just looking at which position is row 1 and row 2. So row 1, it starts in number 1, right? 0, 1. And then until the end. And then at the end, I don't want anything else. Now for the columns, this is my whole data. I think I explained this one. This is my whole data. This is my whole array. I'm sorry about that. My whole array with this. And then the columns, what I want is 0, right? Which is this column. And then I want 1 until the end. We don't have any more, so it would just show the column. It's a really interesting one to play with this one and move it around for practice. At the end, I'm gonna show you what is my GitHub, so you can download this and you can also play with this. And actually, I probably forgot to mention that in my GitHub, no. I really forgot to mention this one. If you go to my GitHub here, which I'm gonna share it, you have the same notebook that I had. I have requirements. You can read the instructions. There is some documentation here, but you can even launch this in Binder, and you can do the same things as I'm doing, and you can, it takes a little bit. And you can also open it in Colab. You can download a copy to your Google Drive, and you can play with it too if you want to. So now we're gonna go to create a data frame for a NumPy array, but in this case I'm gonna see numbers because for some people, these rows and columns is a little confusing. It took me time to understand that. So now I'm gonna run this. Create a data frame from a NumPy array, right? With numbers. So I have my NumPy array, so it's in p.array. I'm creating my array, right? This is NP from the NumPy library. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 6, 5, 6. So I'm saying just create me my data frame, right? All the rows, all the columns, from 0 to the end, from 0 to the end, all of them. And here are them. So if you see here, my column name is 0, 1, 2. And my rows is 0, 1, 2. Later we will see whenever we do with Excel how this is going to show. So now let's go to data frame operations. So now that we know how to create a data frame, we are going to go to data frames operations. This method is really, really cool. It's really, really cool, and it's really, really important. So this picture I think is really great for you to take. The log method is how are you going to select data from the data frame. So you can select that by label. So we have your data frame name .loc, and then you have row and then column. This is very important, row and then column. This is the order, there is no other way. Row and column. If you memorize this, it's just great. So let's see an example. You have created data frame from a dictionary, right? We have df1, I assign it with that name to the variable, and I say PD data frame. This is, I believe this is the same way I have it on top, country, and then the country names and the rank. So we have country and rank, and we have the indexes. So we're gonna select all the data for one first row. So I want to know all the information from Russia. What is my index? Number 0. If you go by here, number 0, right? So we are looking at the row level, right? Row level is 0. So when I run this, you'll give me the information about Russia, and it'll give me the rank, and it'll give me the type, which is an object. So now, it start adding up. So now whenever we are using a slide, we are gonna use a slide and get the same value, but it's gonna show different. So remember here we have row and column, right? So row and column. So I want my row 0 and I want my column 0 too. So if I run it, it is Russia, and then it's the information. So you have to look at a row and column situated in that way. So if you see, you can also specify the row slice, and the column slice. So in this case, it will give you all the rows which has country and rank. So now the columns has names, right? So for the columns, right now I'm saying show me everything. So I'm saying from 0 to 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and show me all of them. So I'm gonna run this, and it'll give me all of them. So now, if I want to get the opposite way, instead of start by Russia, I want to start by Nigeria, Chile, and Russia, to do it that way. So slicing is a start, a stop, and a step. It's always that way. The step is not necessary all the time. It depends on whenever you're gonna use it. So if you go here, df1.loc, right? And then I'm saying, give me all, and then you're gonna do -2, which is my step. It's gonna start -2. So this is -1, -2, etc. So and then give me both, all the information. So if you see, you have Nigeria, you have Chile, and then you have Russia. I don't know if everyone got the GitHub. I think I didn't send it just in case. Okay, so now we are gonna select Russia, Chile, and Ecuador, right? So we have my original here, Russia, Chile, and Ecuador. So what we are doing here, we're using the log function, and we are going to say start, stop, and step. So in this case, because I want the 0, and I want the 2, and then I want the 4, I'm saying 0, starting 0, stop at 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a step by 2. So do 2 by 2. That's what I'm getting: Russia, Chile, and Ecuador. So let's see another example. We have this country data dictionary, which has country, continent, GPD, and population. These are all my keys. These are all my values related to my key. Creating a data frame from a dictionary. So we are gonna do what we did before. We will name the variable, and it will say PD.data frame. And then we're gonna put here country data dictionary. It's gonna be a little bit different. And then we are gonna choose the columns. Please make sure you are in mute. If you want to say something, you can, and then you can mute back yourself so we don't hear any noise in the back. So now we have columns, and then I'm saying I can define the columns if I want to. So in this case, I'm saying I'm just adding a little bit. Before we were just doing the data frame itself, and now we are adding columns, and we will add the index. So I'm saying I want for columns, give me country, GPD, and population. Country, GPD, and population. So and then I'm going to set an index as a country. I want my country to be an index. Let me make sure I run this. Did I miss the previous one? Okay. And then I'm gonna show it. So if you see country is my index, I said set index, this is another part of it. And I say the other ones are my columns. Country, GPD, and population. But I'm setting my index as this one instead of having 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is what we usually do mostly. Now, we are going to use this, and we are going to try to start accessing data. And now remember, our index is names is this time, it's not numbers. So if I want to see all the information from USA, I just put it in brackets USA. Remember, because it's a string, you have to put the single quotes. And then you have all the information, it will give you the type. Now, I want all the information from Japan. And imagine that you have more than this. So you can put Japan, right? And then you can say, show me all the rows. In this case, you don't have more than these two, but it could show more than that. If I'm going too fast, let me know. If you want to ask something, let me know, please. So you can, if you don't have to talk, you can chat too. You can write there. Now we're gonna select all the columns for the population, right? So we have, remember we have this, we want to select all the columns here. So we do country df.log, and then we say, give me all of them for population. Remember this? Column, row label, and column, right? This is what am I applying. So give me all the population for all of them. I want all of them. It takes practice. This is a lot of practice, and I actually put in the GitHub a really other good resources that you could get practice on. And now I'm gonna specific says which country I want and what column do I want. I want the GPD for China. So I just want that value. Remember, whenever you have a big data set, you just want to see a few of them. Sometimes you don't want to see it all whenever you start exploring the data. And then it will give you the value in there. Now, if you want a range, if you want a range of rows, you can define the start row and the stop row. So in this case, I'm saying from China to Japan. So you have China to Japan. I'm just saying two, but it could be from China to India. And then show me all of the columns. In this case, we have two, which is both of them. Or you can even say that you just want GDP and population, but you could have more columns. In this case, we just have one. We just have two, I'm sorry. And then in here, I'm saying, show me everything. It's like, show me the whole thing. It's just kind of to just get a practice of it and see it, that you can do different things with it. And there is actually another one that is called iLog, that I'm not explaining it here because it was a lot of information, but the iLog, you can do it by index too. And it works really similar. So now we can actually select some subset of the cells with log. Like for example, on this one, we want China to Germany. From China, like what I was saying before, from China to Germany, give me all of them, right? And give me the columns I want. You can put more columns or you can put just one column. Now, moving from the log method, you see you can do a lot with the log method. You can look a lot of things. So a little bit later, I'm gonna show you in a data set a few things with it. We're gonna manipulate, because if you do data analysis, or if you're going to do data science, you're gonna have to use this. This is very useful because you want to explore the data. You want to see what kind of data do you have? Is it clean? Do you need to clean it? Are some empty values? Are some duplicate values, etc.? So the head method, it would show you the first 5 rows, and you also have the tail method. That's actually mostly the first thing that whenever you're going to analyze data that you're going to use. And what it will give you, this is a really small one dictionary that I create as a data frame, but it will give you the information of the first field. In this case, we have, of course, just a little bit. And then tail 2. So you just put the name of the data frame, that head, and then the name of the data frame, that tail, and you will see that information. Now, usually, if you're cleaning data, because sometimes you're gonna have to, I think most of the time, the data is not perfect. It's never gonna be perfect because the system sometimes doesn't behave right. So it's never 100% clean. So it depends on what you are analyzing. You're gonna have to remove some things. Maybe if you have outliers, you have things that they don't match and you don't want them for your data. You don't need them. You might not need them. So you always want to know the shape of the data. So in this case, we have 6 by 2 columns, right? 6 rows in 2 columns. And then you just do country data df that shape easy. And then you can get the shape of the data. And we're gonna use this too for duplicates. It's gonna be important. So now we're gonna take a look at this other data frame. And this other data frame I create it has group and it has answers, right? So we are going to sort this data because sometimes you need to sort it to see to evaluate it, right? So we will create it, and this is what it shows. It is group and answers. This is the letters, right? And then I'm gonna source the values. So this is very important. In place, we have default, false if it's true, and then perform the operation in place. In place that you want to perform it right there. You don't want to change it anything else. Don't know. I believe it just gives you the first 5 rows. You just want to take a look at the data, how it looks like. It's mostly because of that. But if you want the last 5 rows, you can do a slice and you can access by the log method that I just explained before. Yes, they are the same. They give you the same result. So, sure, no problem. Oh, that's something I didn't know. Great, Ashley. So Ashley is saying that you can add a number into the head so you can access more rows as well. But for me, like I work with SQL a lot. And whenever you want to look the data in SQL, that's whenever you start. And you just do top 5, for example. I use SQL Server top 5 because you just want to see what is the data that is there. Just a general idea. You always want to do that as a data analyst. And in people who wants to go to data science, same thing. You're gonna look the data first. How does it look like? How does it look like? What do I have? Like what kind of? Yeah, it is good that you can add that. So you know that you can add in the parentheses, in head, you can add that. So you can add how many rows you want to see, which is a good thing. I just think 5 of them is good just to get a taste of the data whenever you start. So now we're gonna sort it. So we do data, sort underscore values. And then I wanna say how you wanna sort it by. I wanna sort it by answers. And I wanna do it ascending equal true. And then I don't wanna do it in place. And you can say if you want to do it in place or not. So these are the important parts of the sort one. So I run this. And you can see the difference in here. You have everything ordered. So you can order by multiples too, multiple columns. You do the same thing, but if you see the difference, you are adding group and answers. And I'm saying the group ascending true, and I'm saying answers false. So if you see, it's ordering it, ascending, the group, and the answers in descending. So now duplicate rows. Duplicate rows are my life because you're always gonna have duplicates. You're always gonna have from other systems duplicates. Always, there is always gonna be some duplicates there. And sometimes it's because the kind of data you got, and sometimes you don't get the best data, so you have to shape it on the way that you need it. Depends on what are your needs and your requirements. So I create this data frame, duplicate rows, PD.data frame. So I'm saying I'm just trying to replicate some duplicate data. So I'm saying put me Toy Story 4 times and put me Aladdin 5 times by 5. And then plus add me Lion King by 3. And then I want to add in rank, I want to add these 4 times. So I have the same data on each, 96 by 3. And I want 85 by 5. Just to provide an example, but you can create random things there too. So if I run this, right, I'm going to remove the duplicates. So I don't really need those duplicates. Whenever I'm looking at the data, no, I don't need these duplicates. I really need one of them. So I do duplicates underscore rows, which is the name of my data frame that drop duplicates, and it will drop them. So if you see now the result, we just have 3 of them. Now we can also remove the duplicates based on a particular column. Of course, in this case, I'm just saying movies and we will have all of them duplicates, but sometimes you have duplicates in certain columns that you just want to remove. So you could use this too with subset. I just wanted to share that information. Now let's go to grouping. Grouping is awesome. Grouping is important to get values, to get value of the data. So let's start reading a CSV data. So I have this data set from MLB data. I don't know if you guys like sports, but I actually like sports. And I think analytics and data science for sports is really, really interesting. If you ever are interested in that area, I think I'm not an expert, but I think it's really interesting. So we do have this data set. To read a CSV file, we just do data equal PD.read underscore CSV. This is the property to read it. And I'm saying to read it in the folder that I have previous, this one, which is in my big folder, data sets and MLB data.csv. Okay? So I'm assigning it here, my data set, and I'm just gonna see the 5, right? So like Ashley says, let's look 10 of them, right? So you can see 10 of them too. You can see how your data looks like. We have first name, we have last name, we have team, we have positions, we have height in inches, we have weight in pounds, and we have their age. So there are many things you could do with that data. Depends on what the question is, right? So I want to check what are the indexes. Usually I want to, and then right now they are indexes from 0 to 1,036. That means that I have 1,037 rows there. So it's data.index. So now I want to see what data types do I have, because data types are important to know. Oh, I'm sorry, I ran the wrong one. And then it will give you what is each one, an object, and float, and then the data type of the whole data frame is object. So now we're going to group by, right? We are going to group by. We are going to calculate how many players we have per team. So if you see, we have different teams. I don't know the name of all of them. Like, for example, Philadelphia, Arizona, San Francisco, Cleveland, Houston. So I want to see how many do we have. So I go data.group by. I'm using my group by. And I'm saying just group it by team and by the position. By my team and group it by the position, right? And then count me then. I want to know how many do we have per team. So for example, I can see that Arizona has 28, LA has 33, and San Francisco has 34, etc. Because I'm exploring data. So now let's see how many players do we have per team, per position. So you can group it by multiple, right? You're saying team and position, right? And you are saying team by position and then count me by the position, right? So how many I have per position. So I'm saying this last part is how many per position. So we see Arizona has a catcher 2, first baseman has 3, outfielder 5, second baseman 1, shortstop 2, etc. So you can take a look of the data, how many of them. So now we can also pivot this, which I love pivoting, because sometimes you have the data in a way that you look it up, but you want to look at it in another way, or you want to show it in another way. So this is how it looks like right now, right? So to pivot it, I should have. So this, I think I like the 10 now. Okay. I think I told you wrong, Dan, because head is the last 5. Yes, head and tail. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, head, it tells you the first 5, and tail, they give you the last 5. But it's just use it to see the data. Sorry about that. Now I was thinking. This is the data I have. Now I'm gonna do a pivot. Yeah, I wish I have everything at the top of my head, but sometimes you just need to refresh it again. So, and I usually, Google is our first friend. You can look there, or you can ask questions for sure. And I'm gonna pivot the table. See how it looks like right now? I have first name, last name. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it based on the position, because maybe I'm going to analyze the position. I want to see another way to. So I'm saying a pivot table. Does anyone know what is a pivot table is, right? Yeah, pivot tables are live. And I love it because it's the way that you see the data and you show it up. And sometimes you don't have the data the way you want to see it. Exactly, like Excel. It matches the rows and the columns. Perfect. So I'm saying I want, as an index, I want the position. I want to go by position. And I want the columns to be the team. That's all what I'm picking in this case. And I'm saying the values, first name. And I'm also aggregating and to count, right? So if you see, you have the team here on top of it. You can see of it. Of course, you cannot see all of them. You see all these 3 points is because there are so many. But this was the way to show you the example. And you have all the positions in base of it. actually you can start seeing that you have some null data in there. So now let's look in the pivot table. Let's just keep with the log. So let's get some data with the catcher and the second baseman from Arizona. I want to know. So I'm saying, I'm using the pivot one, this one I created, and I'm not using the one that is called data. And I'm saying, look for my catcher and look for my second baseman for these teams. I just want to know that. So we have 2 and we have 4 in here, and we have 1 second baseman and we have 1 Texas. So you can access to this in any way you need it to. Oh, I think I forgot to run this one. Good. Okay, so now we're going back to tell. See, this is what example shows done. It's the last 5. This is the pivot table. If you see, Janet, you see here my data that head, see how it shows? First name, last name, team, and position. Now here I'm just pick the team and the team right here and the position. See how I'm flipping it? So this is my pivot table, and this is the original one. I convert this one to this. Sure, I can do that. Does this looks better? So this one is my original one. And this one is the one that I converted in pivot, but I'm just using as index, I'm using the position, and as column, I'm using team. And I'm saying just count me how many per team I have. Yes, I'm grouping, I'm just not grouping it, I'm counting it. Well, you can say it's an aggregate function. I'm counting it. Semi count me how many. Because you don't have a column that says how many, but you can count it by the name. Make sense? Great. Good, great question. So now I have this, so I'm accessing to this pivot table, this one right here, and I'm saying I want the catcher and second baseman information. And I want the ones from Arizona and Texas. So, and then it will give me that information, right? Remember, columns and then rows. So if I want 2, you see that is make sure it's separated by commas. Now I'm going back to the original data frame, which was this one, right? I'm going back to this one just to reference it. And I want to get some information, and I want to know how many players that their height is more than 80 inches. I want to know that. So I say data, which is my data frame, and then inside data, and I say inside data, right? Look for inches, right? Look for the inches, height inches, and then look the ones that are greater than 80. All of them, all the teams. So you see, we just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is ways to access the data, because I want to know that. The business is maybe asking me that. So and then you run it and you get all of them. Or for example, give me the players that are less than 21 years old, which is something that doesn't happen that much. I mean, they started a little later, but in baseball, they start a little late. Like, and usually 20s is like, oh, this guy is very young to start in the MLB. So this was the other one. It gets me so many because I'm saying the play, I'm sorry, this one is the one that I just have one. We just have just one that is less than 21 years old. This guy is 20, almost 21. So now we want to get the players that are more than 50 more inches in height. So same thing, I say data, and then inside of the data, I'm just saying data, and then access to hide in inches and give me the ones that are greater than 50. We have so many. We have almost most of them. Pretty tall, guys, I guess. I don't know the calculation. And then it'll give me all of them. You mean you want to add sort here? Good question. We can try that. Maybe we could. Like if we go back here to the sort. Just to make sure. You mean this sort by? Is that what you mean? I mean, we could try. I never tried yet, but we could try. Does anyone know if we could do that? Ashley, you seem to know. Tell us something.
Yeah, I was just wondering when you were showing all the baseball players, their heights, I was wondering if there's a way to add a sort to that particular query so that when you're looking at the height, you can see it from the tallest on down to the shortest.
Yeah, I totally know what you mean. Let's go back there. Let's go back there.
I feel like I've done it before, but I can't remember now.
Let's see. So we're here, right?
Oh, could we just do dot sort after that?
Maybe.
Dot sort in brackets after that? I can't remember how to.
So you mean do this? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, and then maybe brackets. I can't remember, but I thought that after you say, you know, when you queried for, oh yeah, the height in inches, I thought that there was a way to sort it as well. Oh, like sort, but then you have to say, oh, okay.
You have to say how I want to sort it by?
Right, by height, yeah.
And then we are going to say by, right? And then, oh, I picked the wrong one. Oh, wait. This is not good. So sorted by, and then let's say sorted by height inches, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
I guess you have to say descending maybe.
Descending.
Well, anyway, if we don't figure it out, that can be homework, I guess.
Yeah, for sure, but we can try it. Descending, did I tap that right? And let's try that. Nope.
Oh, it's just the syntaxes.
Yeah, we're probably missing something.
So, did you guys see that the documentation I just sent you? Are you able to hear me? Probably not.
Yeah, I can hear you. Pretty sure I did that today. Comma before the sending. Oh, of course. I always eating commas because I'm hungry.
So
okay, we're still missing something.
You should be able to, if you look at the documentation I sent, it should be in the, hold on, there's a link that says pandas with dataframes.sort. So it'd be df.sort underscore values, and then you put in what you want. And you specify like by what column you want it to, and then you want ascending, you do ascending equals true, or you do ascending equals false. But then if you want to keep it,
you have to sort it first, and then.
Well, yeah, but can't do. I don't know if Python actually does sort. It will do sort values.
I didn't get you what you said.
Hold on. Let me send the link again.
Yeah, your voice is kind of like going back and forth. Let's see. Let's see if we can figure this out.
I'm going back to just typing.
So yeah, we have df.sort, and we did. Do we have to do?
Oh, maybe we have to do.
Oh, we have to do is. It says ascending, true or false. We cannot use descending. It doesn't show descending.
Oh, okay.
Ascending. And then we have to say false. Oh. And comma in place equal true. No. Ascending false, and we have sort by. Interesting. So we have data sort and then group. Oh, wait, wait. Still have invalid syntax. So
Also, I think what Ashley was saying is that you have to do data frame sort, and then maybe you put this entire query in the parentheses for the sort value.
yeah, because this is exactly the, let's see. Yeah, I think this is a right for sort, but I think we have to sort it first and then do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the sort now it looks fine. So sort by equal, right? And then I'm saying, wait, still something wrong here. Data frame object has not an attribute sort. Yeah, I think we have to do this part separate. So we could do, what we could do is this part, right? Sometimes you want to do everything in a line and sometimes it just doesn't work. So we'll do data. And then I'm going to say s equal. And then instead of use data, I'm going to use s.
Mm-hmm.
We still have an error, hold on. Data.sort, height inches, ascending equal false, comma in place true. Let's see what is she's sending us something. Let's see. We got data.loc greater than 80. Oh, you want to sort first? You want to sort after? We could try that. So let's do this then. So if I do this, right, go back to this. Let me just go back to the result. And, right, this is what's the result I have. So I run this, right, it's good. And I'm going to say, I assign it to n, right?
Yeah.
And
N.sort.
do n.sort.
Yes.
Are you crossing your fingers now? Data frame object has not an attribute sort. This is interesting. Hold on. Let me look back at my data really quick.
Oh, Ashley's saying it's sort underscore values.
Oh my gosh, really? Did I do that? Values, right? A value is trying to be set on a copy of a slice from a data frame. I think we needed to sort it first. Oh, interesting. So let's do something. Let's keep continuing. And we'll look this at the end so I can continue explaining the rest.
Okay.
Good?
Thank you. Yep, yep.
Let's do that. If not, we'll do all as homework. Okay, Janet says you have to do that copy to get rid of the last error, the new data frame. And oh, you mean, Janet, to do a copy of the data frame, create a copy of it? We'll try that at the end. Let me keep going here. And then here we were saying about age less than 21, right? And then we have just one person. Now I'm saying here the height greater than 50 was the one that we were talking about too. Did I put that? Oh, well, this is higher than 50, higher than 80, but it's almost the same then. I guess I put it twice, so. And then I'm going to check the shape of this data because I want to see how many values I have null. So I do data that shape, and then it tells me that I have 1,036 with 7 columns, right? This is what I have right now. So I'm wanting to see how many do we have null. So I'm assigning this to null data, and I'm saying from the data frame, check how many do I have null, any null. It doesn't have to be, it could just be one column or it could be the whole row completely. This is what it means, that any. So let's do that. So it's telling me that I have this tree. As you see, I have this one in here. This one has like everything in there. And this one has just this ones. Not all of them are null. So maybe I want to get rid of it. So there are two things. Getting rid of it, the drop function is not a great idea actually for analysis. So you have the option to add values in it, which is normally what people would do, add values. You can maybe calculate the medium and put that value in it whenever it's a number, whenever it's a name, or maybe they'll find you the information and you can add it because it's not so many rows. So we're gonna count how many we have per each. And we have 1,034, 1,034, 1,035. We have 1,034 and we have 1,035 here, right? So I'm going to show the drop just for illustration, but it's not recommended, okay? Because it's gonna drop all of them. So we have, how? You saying any of all, right? Default is any. So any is all the rows that has something null in it. So if any values are present, drop that row or that column. And if all the values are NA, you can drop that one. So in all, you're just going to drop the ones that are like this. So you can choose which one you use. So I'm saying any. So drop me all of them. So drop this, this, and this. So I'm saying data missing underscore drop that equal data that drop NA. How? I want any. So I missed it and then I printed it again with the shape, and it just have 1,033 with 7 columns, which I have 1,036 before. And now if I check the count, it gives me all of them are equal. You can also fill the values, right? What I was saying. Let's say you want to fill the values with NA, or you want to fill the values with a number. You can take the data frame and you can say data fill NA and fill it with this or with 10 or with whatever. For example, the other day they were doing this machine learning they have in Kaggle, and it's about Titanic, and then they just get no, I'm just saying NA as an example. You can put anything, but they want to fill those values in. They need it because they found the passengers where they were sitting at, for example, or they look at the median values and the media and then just put those values in. That's whenever you use this. And you always probably mostly gonna use this one more than dropping. Dropping is not a great option, but sometimes you have to drop columns. It depends of the sample that you need to. Yes, count will include all the columns. The ones drop and the ones that not. I like to use, Ashley says that she likes to use is no, that's some. Yeah, that's the other option. You can use df, that is no, that's some. Yeah, I saw it, that one before. You can ignore it, but sometimes you need the data really, really clean for what you can do, okay? Exactly. Ashley says, I have learned the hard way to double check to see if the data is relevant before dropping it. Yes, that's why maybe it's not a great option to drop. Maybe it's a great option to fill it with something that you can fill it to get what you need. Don says, is there any way to ignore instead of dropping it? Not that I know of. Does anyone know that? But the only thing I have seen is, or you can, yeah, or you can say, don't show me the nodes, but it's always gonna show in there. You can set the nodes to something else. I think that's the most important that they use. Even people experienced, I have asked before, that's the one that they use. Set them as 0 or normalize them. For example, they also use this one that is called data, I believe it's data.describe. It tells you the count, it tells you the mean, standard deviation, the mean, 25%, 50, 75 in the max. They use a lot this. Sometimes they put even the mean for it to fill some values. For example, for high values or for weight values, you can do that. But it depends. It depends on what you're evaluating or doing. So there is not a straight answer for that. Okay, thanks. It's better to add a value of some sort that you recognize where missing data is. Yeah, it all depends of the data that you are evaluating and how you're going to use it the best. It's totally that way, same as Ashley just says. Do you guys want to go back to try that sort before? All right, so we were saying to sort it first, right? What is it? So we have this, right? This was the one we were using. And we are saying the ones that are greater than 80. So we want to sort it first.
Or I thought just make a copy of that.
Oh, make a copy. Yeah, that could be. So we want to make a copy of this.
Yeah, I think that's what either Janet or Ashley were saying, that if you make a copy, then I guess you can use that sort values on a copy, but not on the original data frame, if I understand correctly.
Okay. I believe you should be able to do the sort values, but anyways, I did this and it says n that sort values by, and I'm saying this, and then comma, ascending equal false, right? Ascending equal false, right? I don't need space, it doesn't matter. And then I'm saying in place true. So it says function object has no attribute of sort values. This is interesting. Why doesn't it work? It still doesn't work.
Yeah. Ashley has, yeah.
It's not like in the end. Ascending false in place equal true. Let's see. You mean this? Yeah, but still it's not working for us. It says function object has no attributes. I just wonder if I just sort it first before I get these values.
But you're, oh,
Try to put an n height. You meaning here n?
So do you see where it says I equals and you've got your column? Try putting an n in front of those brackets.
In here? No.
No, go down one more to the n sort values. So it'd be like sort values by equals n brackets. Height.
In here?
Down one more.
No. We're missing something, but we're kind of close.
We are. So do you see where it says on n dot sort underscore values? Like the next line. And you see what by equals?
Oh, wait, do I have to assign this to something? No, right? No.
You could. You could turn it into a, well, you can't put the back, no, because you've already assigned it. So right where you have the n.
Yeah, but it still doesn't work. No, I don't think we have to do this. Because if we go back to my example, right, the one that I have previously, so.
she's saying where you have n dot sort, I think it needs to be,
You see my example here on top of it? Oh, no, this one is not even working. Check for duplicates.
It could have something to do with like your columns, like you know, it says data dot sort underscore values by equals, put your data frame name in front of that. So it'd be by equals data bracket. Let's see if that works.
Hold on. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so n in here?
No, more to your right. No, that line, one more.
Here?
No, down more.
the line under that one.
Oh, in this line? In the second line?
Yep, that's the correct one. So scroll to your left more. See where you've got your bracket for your column. Try putting an n in front of that bracket. So go to your left more. So it should be by equals n bracket, because that's your data frame name.
In here?
Yeah, more to your, oh, that's the left. No,
Then put an n in front of your, after your equal sign. It should be n before the brackets.
more to your left. Yeah.
You meaning here?
Huh? Yes, well, more to your, like to your right, one more.
But after the equals, yeah.
Yes, try that.
And like that?
Hmm?
But I don't think we have to do a copy. I'm going to remove this copy.
Okay, I'm going to indent.
No, the indentation here.
Always the indent.
No, we're getting the same error.
It's your, okay, so it's not a method. Hold on one second.
Yeah, because if we're saying heights, right? I'm saying the heights. Maybe Do we really need this? I don't think we need this either. That give me a worse error. Check for duplicate. But it's giving me results. Look at this.
So I don't remember who said it earlier. N is not a data frame. Try n.type or sorry, n dot. Is that n dot type?
So that is a data frame.
No, it's not. N's an array or
It's a data frame. If you go here in my data.
Yes, that's data. So your name someone's data. N is not data frame.
Oh, okay.
So maybe it needs to be data dot sort.
Yeah, you could try that. I've done it so many times. Every day. I've done it multiple times today.
Data dot sort in here?
You could.
I'm thinking because, yeah, that's true that N is not a, that's what I'm saying, that if we sort, like, do we have to assign it to another data frame maybe?
And you might see the weird, like, PD dot, like, the two of data frame. It's a weird, like, PD underscore two data frame, like that.
I look it up, it's copy. Okay, she looked it up, let's try that. That copying here, Janet, like that. But it still doesn't work. It says check for duplicates. I don't know why it's telling me check for duplicates. Because I'm saying in that sort values. Oh, do we really need this n? Let's take this out.
Is that it?
Oh,
no.
did that work? But why didn't print anything? Do I need to assign this to something too? I don't know. Let's see. No, but it doesn't print anything. You see that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Let's do this. We can get this as a homework and we can share it. We have a channel there in here in the Women Who Code, and
Okay.
this is data science study group that I've been holding on, and we could discuss that. We could take a look at it.
Liliana, does this group meet every week? Not every week, right?
No, not really. I was doing like every 2 weeks chat.
Oh, okay.
Here it was better a webinar because because I was typing and I didn't get so many people talking. I think that it's this way too. And I'm gonna try to do this as frequently as I can. As I learn something, we could practice things. Important thing here, and I'm here in my GitHub. You have some documentation too that you could look it at.
Okay.
Really good book, structured information, but this is a good book and it's free. We have the basics here, manipulation of data. These guys explaining it really well. We have method, which I think they're explaining it really well in here too. And we have some exercises here. We have this W3 resource, Pandas exercise practice is really, really good. And we also have this Pandas tutorial exercise by Brandon Rhodes. It's really, really good. It has a lot of, if you go there, it has a lot of exercises.
Oh.
Pandas is a lot of practicing. Like you just play with a data set and you just do it. Like, and then this notebook you can open here and you can get a copy of my notebook and you can practice. This is my notebook here. If you copy to your drive, you can run it. And you can play with all of these too. You can change things and you can do everything. And you also have the binder too that you could use it, but the binder it runs a little slow. And for this one, you have to create a copy. But yeah, So I'm not an expert and I'm just learning as well as you, but I wanted to start sharing it because I think as we share it, we can discuss and we can have an idea. How do I look at that? And those are great questions. Thank you, Jamia, for coming in. So, and I will try to do another one and we can just go based on this and we could go from there. I'm trying to get more of the pandas and NumPy area because that's what is going to be helpful for my job too. And pandas is really good. Yeah, like Janet said, it's live now. And it's really, really good to get a lot of data. And there are a lot of old methods that you could use, so many, but I think these ones are the most important ones. There are more too, there are more. And yeah, like Janet says, you can do quick mass updates instead of row by row. Yeah, you can do all of those things too after. But important is to know the basics. Like for me, I think practicing more exercises and doing this kind of thing is just what it helps the most. Thank you, Ashley. And well, if no one has any other questions, let's give it a try to that. Give it a try to that. Download mine and give it a try and sort it by and give us the answer. Whoever gives us the answers first. I really appreciate everyone coming in tonight and sharing this time with me. And remember that we have the applaud here and you can take a second and share achievement and you can do it by Women Who Code. There are so many people out there that they do nice things, so women, so we can do. And thank you very much for joining us. And thank you very much for being part of the community. And remember, spread the word. The more we are, the better we will be, okay? And an important thing, so if you are not in the Slack, send me your email address. And I can add you. I can add you right away.
Yeah, I'm not sure I have access to the data science Slack.
So in the, no, so this is a channel. Let me just stop this.
Yeah, I'm not sure I have
I'm trying to
access.
stop the recording just a second. Mute myself. Sorry, just give me 1 second if I can stop this recording, which I don't know where to stop it at. Stop recording, yay.